ハロー、ニックです。
はい、ニックです。
Welcome to Nick and Alex。今日はね、日本、アメリカ、ロシア、どの国が一番住みやすいかについて、we're gonna talk about that. So, I guess, just in the beginning, let's both say at the same time which one you think is the easiest. And
I think
completely, I'll say 1, 2, 3, and it has to be, just don't worry about, say whatever you want, okay? 1, 2, 3.
Japan.
Yeah.
I knew it. I knew it.
Yeah.
まあだからここに住んでるんでしょ。
Yeah. What makes Japan easy to live in?
Well, personally, I mean, actually any country is easier than Russia to live in.
Really?
Well, most countries, I guess. So, well, first of all, it's really, really anzen, right?
Anzen. Oh, yeah. It's safe.
Safe.
Japan's really safe. Yeah, that makes it so easy to live.
I think you probably, I mean, it's hard to notice because it's just so weird to me sometimes. I'm like, wow, I'm here outside and I don't feel threatened at all. Like, I don't see any people that feel kind of scary. Like, I can go anywhere at any time, like night, day.
Yeah. その安全さがすっごい住みやすい。Yeah, I can like walk down the street and not worry about getting like shot or beat up or something or robbed.
Yeah, it's true. And also, like, you can literally leave things.
I know,
in
I was just gonna say that. I mean, you shouldn't.
You shouldn't, but you
今はあんま
can.
置かない方がいいけど、you can go to the bathroom really fast and leave your like computer in your bag. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Can I say another thing? 日本のめっちゃ便利なとこ is that you can pay bills at the convenience store. これめっちゃ便利だよ。俺アメリカどうやってその電気代払うか全くわかんないわ。I don't even know how. I've never personally had to pay that because I think it's right. Like basically, when I became an adult, I was in Japan.
Yeah, right. I think in Russia I normally just pay to the landlord, so I don't really know how.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Japan is really like. I mean, also like 国民保険 is really easy here. そう、日本めっちゃ住みやすいんだよな。
But also, I really like. Sorry. I really like that people are sort of very considerate towards each other. So people don't talk loudly normally on in denshaとか.
Also, just what about trains? You can get anywhere without having a car, basically.
Yeah, it's very.
You can get anywhere. I don't think that was very good English.
Well.
You can get anywhere easily.
Yes.
Yeah.
I guess for an American, that's quite a big change, isn't it?
Wait. What about it in Russia?
Well, I mean, it depends whether we're talking about kokonai travel. If you're going,
I'm talking about kokonai travel. Yeah.
Well, you can take a train. It's just like a very big country, so it'll take you quite a while. And the trains are terrible. So.
I know, that's what I'm saying. America has trains too, but they're terrible. And the buses are terrible and they're dirty.
Yes.
And they stink. And the machines where you buy tickets in suck. Americans like train machines, at least in like California where I am, are like from like 1980.
Wow.
Yeah. They're like 1,000 times worse than Japanese ticket ones, but 1,000 times bigger too.
Yeah, ours are probably still from like Soren Judai.
Yeah. What else is easy? What's hard to live in about Russia?
Oh, Russia. Everything.
Everything, yeah.
ロシアの人生苦しい. I think just human interactions are always kind of negative.
But there aren't really that many human interactions in Japan, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, but when you do have to have an interaction, no one's gonna express their their personal frustration to you. If you go to a store I don't know, konbini in Russia, and the cashier has a bad day, you're gonna know that because she's gonna be very rude to you.
Yeah. America's like that too. Yeah.
So
でもアメリカのいいとこはいいやつだったらすごいいい会話ができるの。
それはまあロシアではそれはあまりないけど。
Like Japan is very utilitarian in some ways, where it's just like 余計なことはなくて、いらっしゃいませ、かしこまりました。
I had some Japanese people actually talking, but I think when you're a foreigner, maybe they're a bit.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of where it's like really bad service is like maybe in some restaurants here, like very small amount, and then like taxi drivers, rarely.
Really?
Yeah. Almost never though. Almost never. the taxi system's really easy here too.
It's a bit expensive actually compared.
It is a bit expensive, but I mean, for instance, I'm sure it was probably like, for instance, like Corona support here
yes.
was probably much easier to 申し込む than in ごめん、俺申し込む英語忘れた than in like the States. Like there's a lot of bureaucracy in Japan, but somehow it's like it's annoyingly a lot of bureaucracy in Japan.
It
actually.
is, yes.
Like, but it's a lot smoother. I feel like everything like in America takes way longer than it should take to process.
Like at least this bureaucracy is efficient in the end, because I feel like in Russia you go somewhere and they're like, oh, you need this paper. You go somewhere else, they're like, oh, you need that paper. You spend like days collecting the papers, then you go back and they're like, oh, we don't actually need it. I'm like,
yeah.
So
yeah. I mean, it's really interesting because I think if people lived in Japan, like somebody who never lived there before, like for like a year and a half, would realize how easy it is. I mean, it's really easy to live in Japan.
Yeah, well, the only thing is if you don't speak Japanese, it's like completely different matter.
Well, then you're handicapped for sure in some ways.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to say that? Handicapped? I guess.
I mean,
今何言っていいか何言っちゃダメかもう分かんなくなった。Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's just like, you do feel like something's wrong with you because you're like, oh, I can't read.
Yeah.
So I don't understand. I remember when I just moved to Japan, I would get all these letters. And, you know, when you just, well, maybe you don't remember anymore, but when you move to Japan as a foreigner, you have to like 申し込む a lot of papers, ID カードとか, like a lot of registration and, well, and it's never translated into English. It's always like in kanji, and I couldn't read it.
You know what's 不便? 銀行の印鑑とか印鑑がそれだけめっちゃ不便なんだよな日本は。
Actually, before I moved to Japan, I thought inkans are really cool.
I know. Well, they look really cool. Yeah. But once you have them, it's just like.
It's not.
And it's funny because in Japan, when you can't just use an inkan, you have to register the inkan and get like the registration form. And it's like, yeah. じゃあ印鑑は何のためにやんだよ。紙が必要だったら。
But then I think if you change address, you have to re-register your inkan again, no?
Yeah. I mean, there's lots of stuff like that. But overall, obviously, I think it's much easier to live in Japan than probably anywhere else. There's some, I think Holland was actually, I can imagine would be easy to live in.
Yeah, I mean, I think Europe, well, Western Europe maybe is...
Yeah, I think Eastern Europe might be... I think Russia would be harder than a place like Poland or something like that, though. I can imagine.
I mean, again, it depends on which part of Russia, because if you're in Moscow, then probably everything... Well, you have, like, English letters, but if you're outside of Moscow, then everything's in Russian. And then it's pretty much same as it being in Japan because you can't read it.
Yeah, the thing about Japan is a lot of the time they do put English on some things.
Some things.
And a lot of the time the English is wrong.
But, yeah, well, that's kind of cute though.
Yeah,
like, very kind of.
皆さんはどう思いますか？その日本より便利な国に住んだことある？あったらコメントお願いします。Alright, peace.
See you.